Yo dog, Kenny Boucher here, Next Level Painting, hitting you up on another glorious Friday, the literal best of all days. On this beautiful Friday morning, according to my clock, 2 in the morning to be precise, running it kind of close this week, down to the wire. Kickstarter's been popping off like crazy. We've been working super hard, bringing all the rewards to the table. I want to thank all the veterans that showed up last weekend at the event that we attended. It was awesome, handing out handshakes and hugs, aka hugs and handies. I want to shout out a good friend, Michael Carlin. I'm doing a video for you real soon. Also, shout out to all my patrons who are helping me hold it down every day. I don't want to promote too hard here, but I want to give you a little bit of information going into this video. We're going into the holiday season, so the Long War and Next Level Painting, we're going to be obviously pulling a little bit of content back. We got to take vacations too. I know you guys understand. I'm not trying to get defensive about it. I'm actually really kind of looking forward to it. So Thanksgiving, we're not going to have any content happening around Thanksgiving. That means my video isn't going out on Friday. We're not doing a podcast. I'm not doing a webcast. So, and also I don't think we're doing a hobby video either. So we're taking that block of 3 days off. So we're not even going to sit here and try to worry about getting videos done. Apologize. We try to stay as committed as possible. Even in the middle of the Kickstarter, we do have limits. We got to see our families and everything. And I know I don't have to explain that to anybody. I just feel kind of embarrassed that I'm not going to have a video for you guys. But I will come back hard with some dope shit here soon. We're also going to be taking some time off for Christmas coming into the new year. Hold on. It's been a long night, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, yet again, thank you guys for supporting the Kickstarter. We've got fresh new goals dropping every day. Got to get that shot glass on lock. The most official adult beverage container ever. The most legendary. Yo, it's up there. Please snag those things up if you're going to snag them up. But when the Kickstarter comes to its natural resolution, we hand out all the surveys and the final order forms. Please tack one on, because we're not a gigantic Fortune 500 company that can order 10 billion units and get you these shot glasses for free almost. We got to order. We have minimum orders. We've only sold like 6. I know you guys are probably waiting into that survey, but it would be a big help to get those shot glasses out. We're going to be bringing them to Adepticon. I want to start drinking out of them. All of these things. So that's my low pressure, high pressure sales pitch. No pressure, but seriously, buy those shot glasses. I know I'm real scattered, been painting since 9 a.m. So been getting tired, but I'm gonna have the energy to get us through this tutorial, I promise. So yet again, we're gonna be taking breaks and everything like that. I know kind of jumping around and interrupting myself, but I think the week of Christmas we're gonna be off. There's gonna be those 2 content cycles that we're not gonna do. That means we're gonna miss out on 2 podcasts, 2 webcasts, 2 tutorials. And then coming into the new year, coming strong, we're gonna be dropping the battle reports again, coming in hot. So anyway, without further ado, let's jump into this. We're gonna be painting Puppets War miniatures flesh hounds today. I banged out 30 of them for a commission for a good friend of mine, Chris. He's at sea. He's literally a pirate. And we are going to go into like kind of the secretly easy tricks to painting these Khorne flesh hounds. Let's do this thing. Secret tricks to painting Khorne flesh hounds. Step 1, we're going to be banging out some of that Army Painter Pure Red. This primer will be your ally in getting that nice red without going too crazy with the airbrush. And the second part of why it's so easy is we're busting out these Vallejo washes. We're taking the flesh wash and the sepia. We're going to mix them together 50-50. And we're going to just gangster wash these. And since this spray paint got pretty good coverage, it's almost like a semi-gloss. It really just breaks up this wash so well. And that's kind of a trick that I haven't shown you guys before, but if you primer model, then gloss coat it, the wash goes on a lot easier. And you can really see that there's a natural sheen to this, and the wash just goes on so smooth. So we're applying this wash pretty liberally. We're trying to get it into all the muscles. We're manipulating it to not pull up in places we don't want it to. We want to show off those ribs. We want to show off those big shoulder muscles. We want to get into those cuts. We want to get the face looking fresh. All those things. And then I'm going to set them down in front of my little floor fan, and I'm going to keep going so that they dry off rapidly. I don't want them to, dry unevenly, so I'll keep an eye on them when they're in front of that fan. I'll be moving them around, making sure the fan's blowing the fronts, the backs. Just get a floor fan. And you can see it's semi-dry right here. You can see it's really coming together. I just picked it up off the floor fan to show you guys. It's like, hey, it's drying pretty good. Look how tight it looks. And here they all are. I just did them all 30 of them. And there it is, dried. I mean, that is a pretty solid red right there. But here's another great trick. Army Painter also has 100% match colors. So this is pure red again. And it's really thick. So we're going to use Airbrush Flow Improver from Vallejo. We're going to get Airbrush ready. And we're going to go in and just subtly do a top-down, nice, simple highlight to kind of just get some of those big flat areas where the wash kind of took away some of the vibrancy of the red, and we're going to reestablish that vibrancy. This paint is very thick. It's very dry brush ready, so it does take a little work to get it ready for the airbrush. But that Flow Improver and a little bit of water, literally does the Lord's work. And by the Lord, I mean the Lord of Skulls. So here they are. They're all with their wash, all with their little new subtle highlights to reestablish their vibrancy. They're all looking pretty fresh, and you can see this assembly line is coming together real strong. The colors are just holding together. I mean, very vibrant. Love these Army Painter colors. They got some sick tricks. So now we're going to move into the next stage here, which is a simple dry brush. We're going to pull out some of that Troll Slayer orange from GW, which is one of the best oranges in the business. And we're going to mix it up a little bit with that pure red from Army Painter, which I said is dry brush ready. And we're going to go to town, kind of mix them together, get it to be a little bit brighter, like a nice little blood red effect. And this is kind of your commitment level right here. How committed to the dry brush are you? The more dry brush coats you do, the better it's going to look. I'll tell you straight up. I'm starting off with a big brush, and I'm doing a kind of a beefier dry brush here, subtle. But I'm going to go through 2 more times, brightening the color of my dry brush up with that orange, going to smaller brushes, focusing on certain areas of the model, like those cuts and those muscles. The more passes with the dry brush and the more subtle you can make each pass of the dry brush, the more you're going to get out of this model. I'm only showing you this one big gangster dry brush, but rest assured, I did a lot more than just this. But you could do just this and be fine, because you can already see it's looking pretty solid. Just imagine it with all its details. That would work. But I'm going to show you, see, like I'm just going, every angle, up and down, left and right, just try to catch it, against the hard edges. I mean, we've done videos on dry brushing before. So let's skip right back to the airbrush. Burnt umber, ancient Chinese trick here. And we're going to take this burnt umber and we're going to apply it to all these guys we just dry brushed right here. So check this out. We're going to go in and build up a shadow. We're going to get up in there where his twig and berries is. We're going to draw a little highlight under that chain. We're going to frame out that huge shoulder muscle. We're going to get up in there. Everywhere we think there should be a little contrast, we're going to manufacture that contrast with a very subtle coat with burnt umber. Like I said, burnt umber, man, it's just the truth when you're trying to make your reds look more dynamic, like have more contrast going back to the dark side. It's just so much better than black. It has such a natural relationship with the red. Can't say enough good things about burnt umber. I've obviously preached burnt umber every time you've seen me paint anything red. Burnt umber is going to be applied to that red. I guarantee it. So the more detailed you can get though with this process, the more you can do. Like I can get into those muscles, in between that huge slice in his shoulder, the part where his ribs are looking fresh. Like just get in there and just get it done, Don't be afraid. Now we've banged out all 30 of those guys and they're looking fresh. Now we're gonna move up to doing some metal, and I'm gonna debut another Army Painter metal right here. Like I haven't used this metal before, plate metal. It looks pretty fresh, so I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna paint all those chains just to give them a nice solid metal coat. Like I'm not gonna sit here and try to dry brush anything on. I'm gonna paint them metal, make them solid. We'll let the wash stage, when we come back to the wash, really bring out the love of these chains. You can see, here's another angle. Just go in there, be methodical, build it up. Don't let this metal get on the red that you just painstakingly dry brushed 100 times to make it look good. These more organic demon models are really about the dry brush and wash game. And if you can get your primer game unlocked, it's just so much easier. Just, and these guys have a lot of chains on them. They do have a little bit of cast issues, these Puppets War guys, but once you get them built, I mean, look how good they look compared to the GW ones. GW ones suck compared to these ones. And they're already looking really interesting. Their poses are very dynamic. They're just so strong, so beast looking. I mean, they got everything going on that the current Fleshhound does not have going on. I'm gonna go back to Privateer Press, pull out some of that molten bronze. Is another ancient trick, and we're gonna paint their collars, because obviously they have collars. You gotta hit some of that. You gotta give them some of that brass love, some of that gold love that Khorne is known for. So I'm gonna go through and just same deal, paint them nice and solid, get them a nice once over, get as many angles of these collars as possible so that we can wash them later. Now let's pull out some of this matte black from Army Painter. We haven't used this before yet either, but I got the whole set. I'm gonna go through and I'm just gonna beast mode, hit all their toenails black. This is kind of an easy trick, kind of a corner cutting trick. Get in there, just don't worry about detailing down. Just make sure you don't go up into the red, so you can just brace your brush against the base and just slather that black on, get their nails painted. A lot of people will go bone or kind of like a tusk, kind of a horn color scheme, but I find that there's gonna be a lot of basic material. You don't want to get overly detailed on their toenails. Just go with black. It's got good contrast and it's a color of Khorne. Men Off White. This is another super clutch color. We're gonna go in now and we're gonna start painting the teeth, the eyes. We're gonna paint both the teeth and the eyes with this color. And you're really gonna want to be there's no fast way to do this. You gotta get in there and you just gotta fucking do it. This is the grind. We got 30 guys. We gotta grind out, get them all to exactly the same consistency. We want to be able to put all 30 of these dogs on the table and have them all look exactly the same. And you can see they got a lot of teeth. There's a lot of angles. You just got to get in there and get it done, because cutting corners is not something that you can do on the face. You can do that on those toenails because we're going to put basic material on them. Same deal. Pull out that Men Off White and we got to do the spine. There's no fast way of doing this. They have a spine that's kind of erupting from their back, and so there's skin kind of overlapping it and bones showing. So you gotta just have to pay attention. You can't just slap it on. You gotta look at it. You gotta see what you're getting into. You gotta slow your roll and you gotta get it done, and you gotta do the same thing 30 times after you get this first one done. Trust me, it is a little mind-numbing, but it can be done. You just gotta get your favorite audiobook on and you just gotta beast mode it. I'm putting the finishing touches on here, the final little highlights, making them pop before I apply all those washes. But you can see here, we already have pretty much a tabletop standard right here. If you were a slacker and you wanted to have a 3-color minimum, you'd be good. Here's where we're going to flip the script. Go back to Vallejo, grab the violet. A lot of people would put blood effects inside these big, deep gashes. I'm going to flip the script and go with violet. I think that it just looks cool. Bluey purples look really good with reds. And so, hey man, I decided that my guys, their scar tissue or their blood is going to be this purple blue. Go in, get your detail brush and just paint inside of all those cracks. Later, I go back and I use a glaze inside there. I'm going to use a blue glaze. I'm going to skip over that because it literally takes 5 seconds. Do it in your own time. Let's pull out some known oil right quick. Known oil. Just go over all the chains, go over all the brass that we laid down. You don't want to use this underneath the bone. We're going to use our original recipe for all the things that we did with the bone. I'm a firm believer, you got to have your wash. You got the right wash for the right situation. Black wash for all this metal. We're using brown wash essentially for all these teeth and all these spines. But you don't want to go crazy here. You want to make sure you get the wash on the metal, not on the guy's skin. So here they all are. All the metals are washed. I mean, like I said, they're looking closer and closer. I mean, they're looking fresh. Their details are coming in hot. Here we go. Back to the Gangster Gumbo, the original recipe. We're using that sepia and that flesh wash. We're going to mix them together 50-50 like we did earlier. And we're going to go in and we're going to paint these spines and these teeth. And also their eyes. We're going to go inside their eye cavity. We're painting all their eyes. and just now give them a nice wash in there, make their eyes darker, but also give some contrast to the rim around their eye. You're gonna want to be 50-50 detailed here and liberal. You're gonna want to get that wash build up in there, really give you that blend, and you also want it to get tight in there against the skin to really help give it that organic feel, like it's bursting through the skin. Once you establish the spine, go in and do the teeth, and you can see, look, there it is. Look how easy that is. Do all the work in the beginning, and then use the right wash for the right situation, and then you got a good looking model. Okay, it's gonna be 2 weeks before I see you guys again. So here's a preview to the next video. We're gonna use the Citadel textured paints to do all these guys' bases. Here's a quick little preview right here of what I'm gonna be showing you, how I'm gonna be breaking it down. And then we're gonna get to this right here. So if you have a headache, billion 50mm bases, and you don't have those expensive resin bases, and you are kind of short on time, and you don't want to like wait for Elmer's glue and sand to dry, these textured paints are gonna be right for you. So I'm gonna break them down in a full-length tutorial next time we see each other. We're gonna go through and show you how I did that. We're gonna show you some other examples. We're gonna hit you with some of that base and supplies as usual. Thanks for checking out this video. Finally, the Long War Kickstarter is here. We are trying to raise money to improve all elements of our videos. Cameras, microphones, lighting, and even editing software. We're more than just a company dedicated to bringing hobby back. We're a community. Whether you enjoy all of our content for free here on YouTube, or you're a member of the fast-growing Hall of Veterans and you enjoy early exclusive access, we're part of the same community. It's not all business though. All the Long War swag that you guys have been waiting for is available on the Kickstarter. Please stop by, check out our Kickstarter, and thank you for the support.